Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a Boeing 737 pilot and a member of PMDG's tech team. So, in today's video I'm going to introduce a change in the auto brake logic that has just been done by PMDG with the release of the 737-600 that is also going to be brought to the updated 700. And the change that has been done is that previously you could disconnect the auto brake simply by tapping the brakes lightly and the auto brake would immediately disconnect. Now that is not how it works in the real 737. In the real aircraft you have to apply so much pressure that the brake pressure you apply on your pedals equals at least the pressure applied by the auto brakes. So keep in mind the auto brake does not actually move the brake pedal, but it does apply a certain amount of pressure to achieve the desired deceleration rate. Now in order to make the transition from auto braking to manual braking smoother, the way that Boeing designed the system is that if you are decelerating with a certain amount of brake pressure, then you need to manually apply brake pressure through the brake pedals until eventually your manually applied pressure equals the pressure of the auto brake. If you then apply a tiny bit more, then you will see the auto brake disarm light come on, and that is your indication that the auto brake has actually disarmed. So, those of you who are braking by using a joystick key or a joystick button or a keyboard key, for those of you there is not going to be much of a change, except for that you need to hold the button a tiny bit longer than usual. That is because the way it works in Microsoft Flight Simulator internally is that it takes approximately 2 seconds from the moment you apply the button or the key for your brakes until the brake pressure is actually fully built up. So the higher of an auto brake setting you're using, the slightly longer you need to hold that button. The moment you see the amber auto brake disarm light, this one coming on, is basically the moment where you know that your auto brake has disconnected. And then you can either let go of the button if you want to roll to the next exit, or just keep over braking it if you want to make a shorter exit. For those of you who are actually using an axis for the braking, so mainly for those using rudder pedals that actually have a brake axis, however things are slightly different. For you guys, the recommended technique for passenger comfort and for not violently throwing the airplane around is to apply the brake pressure very slowly on your pedals, so that you are slowly increasing the pressure until you eventually see the auto brake disarm light illuminate. Now, this is a little bit, let's call it not quite as comforting as it used to be, because it means you have to have a look at the auto brake disarm light. However, when you're sitting in your normal point of view in the 737 flight deck, you should be able to see the auto brake disarm light anyway. If you're not able to see the light, then you're not in the correct seating position as outlined by the Boeing recommendations in the Flight Crew Operations Manual. So, as you can see, looking from the captain's seat, you do have a good view on the auto brake disarm light, provided that you can see your engine N1 gauges. When you're sitting on the first officer side like this, it is the very same thing. If you have a viewpoint where you're able to see the engine gauges, then you should also be able to see the auto brake disarm light. Alright, this concludes the look at the new auto brake disarm logic in the 737-600 and also the updated 737-700. If you like the content, let me know what you think about it, consider a subscription to the channel. And if you really love what I'm doing, then I would very much appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link that you can find in the video description below. Until then, see you next time, have a great weekend, and I'm looking forward to see you all in the virtual skies soon.